I am here at Battle Springs Ranch with Jarrett. Want to introduce yourself?
I'm in Oklahoma City, about 2 hours away from here. Usually compete around this surrounding area, make it down here, up around the Oklahoma City area, OKC Gun Club.
So I wanted to interview him because he did extremely well at the last run and gun at Battle Springs. I'll flash a little thing up here to show you how well he did. The best shooter for sure. And I wanted you to show what worked for you. So of course we want to talk about your gear, but how you do your training. Which one would you rather start with?
Well, everybody likes gear, so
Yeah.
I might as well just get it out of the way. So I'll start off with my competition rifle. It's pretty well BCM, but I did piece it together, so I'm running Criterion barrel. Personally, I have found on long ranges like this, a good barrel. It's the heart of the rifle. It's what matters.
Agreed.
So, and then I paired that with good glass. This is EOTech Voodoo 1-6. It's plenty of magnification for what we're doing.
Yeah, often they go out to no more than about 500-600 yards.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I haven't even touched 600 in one of these matches. I've gone out to a couple local ranges where there's 600-yard shots, but nobody ever asked that of gas guns. So 1-6, it's fast enough on 1X, good eye box, but still plenty of magnification for out there at 5.
Awesome.
So,
what bolt carrier do you have?
yeah, so it's also BCM.
Okay.
The only thing that's pretty well not BCM is the lower receiver, the trigger. I'm running a Geisley SSA, and then, like I said, a Criterion barrel.
Okay.
So, as far as pistol, because all of these are 2-gun, I'm being a cool guy. I'm running a Staccato. I am running that with an X300 in a Safari Land. I like the Safari Land for the running guns because the retention is really good. It's fairly quick, but if I take a fall, because it's rough terrain sometimes.
Yep.
You might take a spill. It's going to hold it, so I don't have to worry about anything.
Do you ever have any issues with dirt getting in on your optics? Or?
No, not during a run and gun, but I am running an open emitter. I would like to switch to a closed emitter, but it's run what you got.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say most importantly is get out there and run it. The rest of it,
couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Aside from that, on these running guns, I'm running a chest rig. I keep it pretty minimal. This is the one that I have been running. It's a $65 like Krydex off of Amazon. It's nothing special. I keep it as minimal as possible. I've got a pen for when I have to write down my stage times if we have to. A pocket knife, because sometimes they'll have you cut like a piece of twine. And then, but other than that, I'm keeping it as flat as possible just so that I can get down to prone, nothing's in the way, and as light as possible.
All right, so I'm a big fan of keeping it small, especially when you're crawling under, through, and especially that flat. Is that enough ammo for you, though? How do you compensate for that? Do you put a lot on your belt?
So I usually run 3 in the placard and then 1 on the belt, and so that's going to be just over 120 rounds. So the last run and gun I did out at Burial Mounds was 100 flat. You didn't need any more than that. So I actually took 1 mag away just to keep myself as light as possible.
So you're pretty confident with your shots, and
well,
you don't carry a whole lot of extra.
Not today, I'm not, but it's like that sometimes.
It's been rough for both of us today, for sure.
But we won't post those scores.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out how to delete those off of practice score.
Yeah.
All right, so to get that competent, you got to be training. What's that look like for you? Who you with? How often are you going out? How many rounds every time?
So I will say right now I'm primarily shooting pistol because me and my buddies we're running a lot of USPSA. That's the bulk of my training, and I'm a firm believer in if you can get good with a pistol, that will translate to a rifle. There's a few topics like long range, calling your wind holds and stuff like that. That's you got to train with a rifle, but being competent with a firearm, being target focused, having that hand-eye coordination to superimpose that dot over it, that's what's important. But I'm training once to twice a week, about 1,000 rounds a month for pistol. Not doing that with rifle. It is way too expensive right now for rifle. But we do take our rifles out. We'll focus more on intermediate to long ranges because that's hard. Up close, I don't find a whole lot of benefit in just running the gun really fast, really hard all the time. It soaks up ammo, in my opinion. So. Okay. Other than that, I'm competing a lot too, so that goes into it.
How many competitions are you doing?
at least one USPSA match a month. Sometime I'll pick up another. Local matches out of Wilshire Gun Club. They run a really fun concealed carry match. That's really good for, being competent with your own carry, which is probably the most important, right? And then they'll have a 2-gun, and that 2-gun is always just a lot of fun. It's just a small local match, but
I have been there once.
Yes, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, I come down here to Battle Springs once every other month or so. It's probably 2 to 3 on average per month of matches in general.
Okay.
So,
and that's in addition to going out about weekly shooting pistol.
Yes, in addition to, yeah.
All right, so it takes just that practice.
It's practice, yeah. I started reloading. That helps a lot. So that helps take a little bit of that price
I don't have
out.
time for that. I got 3 kids. There's no way.
I don't. So living that bachelor life, so don't have to worry about it.
Well, awesome. You had mentioned earlier about having a person to train with.
Yes. So I think that's really important. Me and my buddy Jonathan, we're training together, we're competing together, and we're both fairly skilled shooters. And it's competition every time, and competition is what's going to make you better.
So do you go back and forth on the same course of fire, or what's it look like? Right.
So that's a really good question. A lot of people like to set up like known drills, like a bill drill, 4 aces, El Prez, something like that. We don't. We take lessons learned from matches. So like, what did we suck at that day? And then for that next week or two, we are driving that home. Okay. I mean, we are kicking the dead horse on that one.
So you'll mimic the events that you did before, or
no? So we'll take like a specific problem. So like, say I had an issue with like getting my gun up and presented before I break a corner on a barrier, right? Okay. So I'm rolling into that position, breaking the shot as soon as I see that, and as soon as I have a clear shot.
Yeah.
That eats up a lot of time if you don't do it right. So we will work on that. We'll make it hard. We might put a 6-inch piece of steel out there 15 to 20 yards away and then roll a corner and just try to hammer that time. Target transitions, all of that good stuff. We're going to work all of that in, but we try to keep it manageable. So no more than like 3, maybe 4 targets, because at that point you're just throwing way too many rounds downrange and you're not really getting sufficient practice. It's the reps, the good reps that really count.
Okay.
On that. That's what we found anyway. But maybe one day it'll show, and maybe we'll be up there shooting the super squad. So,
yeah, there's always someone better at you at every
time. Yeah,
every match.
Yeah.
What parting thing do you have for someone that is either just started the running guns or looking to get into them? What's your number one piece of advice?
Honestly, first off, get out there. Just do it. Get out there, learn from your mistakes, get engaged with the community. There's a ton of really knowledgeable people there, and everybody's just there to have a good time. It seems intimidating at first, but once you get out there, it's just a bunch of guys hanging out, having fun, shooting some guns.
Yep.
That's it. It's just a good time. So that's what I'd say first. And then after that, it is a fairly physical match. So you need to be out there training for it if you want to really compete. I'm actually starting my own channel, Ad Hoc Athletics.
I'll put a link somewhere down below or somewhere.
It's new. Currently, I don't have anything on there, but hopefully by the time this is live, I'll have some on there. Awesome. And I'm going to showcase some of the things that I do. So my running, my lifts, all of that stuff, because you might have a stage where you're throwing sandbags or climbing rope or something like that. So you need to be fairly physically capable if you want to really push yourself hard.
Man, I greatly appreciate all the words of advice,
mm-hmm.
and we'll see how it goes next time.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there is another running gun at Battle Spring in December is what it's looking like. So I will keep people posted on what gets officially published here soon.
Okay. All right. Care if I do one shout out?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So since we're talking about building the community, a buddy of mine is starting his own business where he's selling tactical gear. So rigs, plate carriers, all of that good stuff. His store is realgear.co. He's donated this for the video. This is something that I'm going to run in the next run and gun out at the Twilight Biathlon in Pawnee.
I'll see you there.
Yeah. So it's a pretty well a knockoff Haley. It's like $65. So we'll see how it runs. I'm going to do a little review for him, and he's also going to provide a discount code to his store through my channel.
Okay.
So if you go to adhoc_athletics, you'll be able to follow that link, and he'll provide a discount code.
Man, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and we got to go do the one last match or one last course of fire.
We'll give it a try.